Right, Tyler Orton joins us now from Business in Vancouver. Good morning, Tyler.
Good morning, Sophie.
Story we've been talking about a little bit in the news this morning. A big fine handed out to a former notary, Rashida Samji, for running a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, this is in fact the biggest fine ever handed out by the BC Securities Commission in its history. This is a huge deal here, especially going forward in kind of the securities trading operations in British Columbia. Keep in mind, Rashida Samji, she was never licensed to trade securities. She was, in fact, a notary public, and she would take people in. At least 200 investors were subject to kind of this fraud. Essentially, she would take money in and say, hey, give it to me, I'll hold it in a trust, and then I can pay 6 to 12% in interest for these operations that we're running here. Some of these were investments that she said people were involved with as part of the Mark Anthony group. Other stuff involved like this kind of fake winery, this sort of stuff. Essentially, people were bilked out of about $110 million. Now, $33 million of this penalty that she's paying is just like a straight-out penalty from the BCSC. The other $11 million, now that's part of the money, that's kind of the difference between what she brought in and what she paid out. So going forward, for people that may find themselves in a situation that seems like too good to be true when it comes to investments, I want to encourage you, check people for their license, check people for their credentials, because the thing is, Samji was never credentialed to do any sort of this stuff.
Right.
So that's what we have to be careful of, especially if you're going with like maybe a smaller person, maybe even somebody that you trust. But if it's not a big, large organization that absolutely credentials everybody, don't hesitate to ask them for this sort of stuff.
And just quickly, Tyler, she's also facing criminal charges as well, is that right?
Yes, she had her last appearance in courts just a few days ago in January. Her next criminal court period is going to be in March, I believe March 13th.
Okay.
She's facing theft and fraud charges over $5,000. So it's not just, keep in mind the BCSC is a quasi-judicial body. She could face jail time for this going forward. This is a huge Ponzi scheme. So.
All right, thanks for that. Tyler Orton from BIV.